Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. Hello, Olivier.
Hello, Max. Hello, everyone. So the webinar should start in a few minutes. We're just waiting for some late comers, but we are really
Correct.
glad today to be among many international agencies. So we have agencies from New Zealand, from the US, from Europe, Asia,
Canada as well.
Canada.
South Africa, I saw as well passing by. Argentina, even in Buenos Aires. So that's crazy.
Yeah, some wake up early than others today to be able to attend the webinar. Um, but super
Yeah,
excited to.
it's a lot of value that we're going to deliver here in this webinar. So I bet that they won't regret that they woke up earlier than
They
some
want
others.
they want
Yeah.
that's our
Cool.
contract to you today. Um, yeah, I guess we can start probably in 30 seconds just to make sure that everyone is connected.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit. I see still people joining. The number is still increasing quite a bit. Every second there are people joining. So let's wait a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, for the presentation and the webinar is recorded. So if you missed something, or if you need to leave earlier, you would have access to the record. And I guess we can start. Max, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Just maybe one thing. If you have questions, you can always put them in the question tab, so not in the comments chat or in the chat itself, because it maybe could get lost. So try to put it really in the questionnaire or the questions tab, and then we can handle them as well on a later time in the presentation. But I'm ready, Olivier. So and look, we
Let's
got
do
the
that.
thumbs up now.
Okay, perfect. So hi, everyone, again. And welcome to a webinar, Cracking the Visibility Code. So I'm for the ones that doesn't know me, I'm Olivier, so Chief Commercial Officer at Sortlist. And I'm really pumped to share this with you. Today we've got more than 100 agencies that registered to our webinar today. So let's make this time count. So to give a bit of words about myself, I'm leading the commercial side at Sortlist. So working closely with agencies like yours across Europe and beyond to help them grow, adapt, but mostly win. So quick head-ups, a bit of last-minute switch. Nicolas, our Chief Marketing Officer, was supposed to come today, but he's out sick today. So I'm joined by Max, our Head of Growth. He's all about data and experimentation. So Max, wanna quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I think it's even better that I joined than the CMO. I think no, it's a joke. He would have done it also very good. But yeah, I'm the head of growth at Sortlist. Basically, performance marketing specialist since of how long already, Olivier? I think 10 years already. I'm in performance marketing. Head of growth already for several years at Sortlist. And basically helped agencies quite a bit with tracking analytics and also their visibility optimization. So I think we're forming a good team for today to give you a lot of insights. And that's also what we're basically going to share today with you guys. So I'm very happy to welcome you all as well. And I'm going to give the mic again to Olivier.
Cool, thanks, Max, and welcome again. So today's menu, I'm going to give you a really short intro about Sortlist because we've seen some of you are not part of the community yet. So short introduction would be needed. Then we're gonna deep dive into the discovery report. that some of you have probably seen or read already. And then Max will go on stage to give some lessons from the top performers inside our community of agencies. So a little bit about Sortlist. So Sortlist wasn't built for a local market. It was built global from the start. So why? Because as you know, the way businesses operate and buy has changed. So if we look back in history, 15 years ago, all the logos that you see on the right side of the slide didn't exist. And companies like Uber or Vinted weren't part of the marketplace. I mean, of the market. And today they have reshaped expectation across every industry, and discovery is now global, is now borderless. So at Sortlist, our mission is simple. We help businesses find the right partners based on needs, not noise. And that's really what drives me and the team in everything we do. So the good news, it's working. As you see on this graph, last year alone, we have supported over 30K of buyers and more than 12 million in monthly project value. So from global brands to niche SMBs, it's not only about traffic, it's real active market. And so talking about global market, Sortlist now is present pretty much everywhere in the world. So we are covering more than 180 countries. So it's kind of wild when we think about it. Um, and in this global world, agency selection is not local anymore. It's really global. So that shift has deep implication for how you show up as an agency. So the big questions becomes, okay, how can we actually help your agency growing in that global environment? Because visibility is changing, discovery as well is. And to really understand what's going on, what's working or not, we looked at our own data. So we analyzed more than 80,000 agencies profile on Sortlist and over half a million of buyer searches. And what we found says a lot about what's coming next and what it takes to be found and pick in 2025. So, all right, we've talked about global reach, but reach alone is not enough. So today it's harder and more expensive to get noticed. You can talk about that for hours with Max, but the cost of acquisition I've really skyrocketed, you know, by 60% since 2014. Buyers today, they are really ignoring more and more ads. Basically, like the playbook of acquisition of agencies look pretty much the same. And because of that, buyers don't pay attention to it anymore. Instead of that, they are trusting their peers, and they make decision before you even get the chance to talk to them. So that's exactly where Sortlist comes in. We help agencies like yours show up early in the buying process with strong positioning and trusted proof. So visibility today is not about showing up in one place. It's really about showing up, you know, everywhere buyers look. And that means diversifying. Basically, you cannot rely only on Google anymore, for instance. It's also investing in reviews, directories, AI tools, case studies, you name it. So let's look at how discovery is really changing the market today. So as you are probably even more aware than myself, buyers, they are not just Googling anymore. They are asking our new best friend like ChatGPT. And so AI tools are becoming the new starting point. And you probably attended the keynotes of Google last week, but they are already, you know, implementing more and more AI summaries into search. So the market is really switching. And what surfaces in those answers, it's structured, trusted content. That's exactly where Sortlist gives agency an edge. Because we structure your content, we verify the reviews and boost your visibility. So not just only on our platform, but across the tools shaping the future of discoveries, such as all the LLMs you're using every day. So to wrap this up, buyers today want clarity, they want proof and speed, and they expect to find the right partner really fast with real reviews, clear expertise, and with no friction. Agencies, so you, on the other hand, you need visibility, you need trust and control over how you show up. And that's the gap Sortlist is built to close. So we connect what buyers want with what agencies need. And we do it where discovery is really happening. So no, visibility is key, but knowing where to focus is just as critical. So that's where data change the game. If you know where demand is growing, you can focus your efforts where they are really paying off. And we're gonna deep dive just after into that. You're going to stop guess and make like real decision based on data. And because of that, you will be not, lagging beyond the market, but you're going to stay ahead of the market. And that's really an edge competitive advantage we are giving you today. So that's really nice that you attend the webinar of today. So some of you have already probably read the reports, but we build those reports to really give you this edge advantage. So we're gonna help you plan ahead, position your services on raising trends, shift your resources as well towards what's working now and not 6 months ago. And it's not reporting. It's not only reporting, it's really actionable. So you can turn these insights into campaign, case studies and content that really speaks directly to what your buyers are looking for. And so I'm going to share my screen today to show you a bit what those dashboards look like. So you have access to this link where we give you a bit the introduction about the market shift. And in this report, you have access to some super insightful data. So the first really interesting data to look at is the average project value per country. So I'm gonna give you a concrete example. Imagine you are the owner of an event agency, let's say in Belgium, and you're gonna look at what are the trends in project value. So let's say here that you look at the project average value of the events in Belgium around 16K. And you say, okay, this is probably, not the kind of budget I expect. It's really something complicated to manage today in Belgium. And I want to also understand what's going on probably in France, because I'm able to, deploy my operational team next door, so in France. And you want to know if it's something quite interesting or not. So basically, you're gonna look for the French market here. Um, bingo. So if you look at the French market, events average budget is nearly double. So this is, kind of an edge advantage you can take benefit of by saying, okay, let's try to touch the French market, even if I'm in Belgium, that could be something super interesting to look at. And so this kind of data, we really encourage you to play with it on your side. So first we have the average project value per country, and we also have another one, super insightful. So you have the project volume dashboard. So basically, let's say you are into advertising, and with your agency, which is global, you can basically cover many companies and helping them building advertising campaigns. And with this report, you would be able to know where the projects mostly are, in which countries. And so that's really, something insightful to also play with your visibility campaigns. And today, that's also a good news, because for our members, you have seen that we have invested in multi-campaigns. So basically, you were able to set up different campaigns in different countries with a dedicated budget and play with those super easily. In this same report, you're also able to play with seasonality. And seasonality is also super key, because you want to be seen when companies are looking. And basically, I'm gonna give you a concrete example. Let's say that you wanna invest more in e-commerce, because it is one service that you are mastering more and more, and you want to know when you should be seen during the year in e-commerce. Let's take this example. So basically, we take the e-commerce expertise, and we see that in September, most companies looking to invest in e-commerce projects are posting projects during the month of September. Super insightful. And I imagine that they are probably preparing Black Fridays, Christmas campaigns, and so on. So it's not a big surprise, but from what I'm really showing here today, is that you can really take advantage of those reports to build your budget of the year. And finally, you also have access to the same seasonality dashboards, but by industry. So with the food, energy, education, and so on and so forth. So again, we're gonna give you the link after the webinar. Play with it, super insightful. And if you have feedback, if you need more information, please get back to me. I will give you my email to also make sure we improve this over time. So again, in a nutshell, those strategic insights dashboard, you are able to understand the project values, the project volume, the seasonality by expertise and by industries. So now that you've got the big picture, I'm gonna give the mic to Max to understand what top performers do at Sortlist. So Max, floor is yours.
Cool, thank you. So everybody can see the screen. I just shared my screen. It's a bit easier to do than than taking the screen from Olivier. So yeah, what top performers do at Sortlist. So basically, let me, yeah. So basically, a bit what Olivier already told you guys. Huh? So user acquisition. I said I'm already 10 years into performance marketing, and it keeps getting tougher and tougher. I would say it's not. I would say there is a lot happening in the last years. Just a few things here that I put up that I added, but there's way more. So we have in the last years reduced media budgets across the teams. We have also smaller teams. Normally, we have to be more efficient. I remembered being in a team of 10 performance specialists. That was pretty big. Now we are with a team. I mean, now the teams are like 2 or 3 people. So it also has to do with automations that we have, for example, in Google Ads, the PMax campaigns that popped up in Facebook, the Advantage Plus campaigns, and so on. So everything becomes a bit more automated. So we need less people, but on the other hand, we have reduced budgets, and automation also gives us less control, let's say, and that's something that performance marketeers or marketeers in general are complaining about. Me as well, by the way. And on the other hand, we have also stricter cookie management. So everything related to cookie consent, to data, to privacy becomes more stricter, especially here in Europe. I saw some people, like we said in the intro, from other countries. Maybe for you it's not the case, but in Europe it's pretty intense, I would say. So, and we want to make always say we are performance marketeers. And marketeers in general. Basically, I think we moved a bit from more the gut feeling towards more data-driven choices. The data-driven choices they become more complex, like I mentioned before already. So a few data, like already Olivier told you guys, and we see CPCs increasing, but what I do see a lot is that CPMs, for example, are decreasing, and they move. And so media budgets, because we have less budgets, they move from Facebook to Google. So this is of course average data, so it can be different from sector to sector. But what we see is that CPMs are decreasing like 25% year over year, while Google CPCs are increasing 20% year over year. Here, some data to back that up. And these are the CPMs, the trend of the CPMs in the last years. You see that spikes. These are always the Black Friday spikes. So that's normal. That they increase, because then it's a huge push on more the social platforms and so on. And on the other hand, these are the CPCs from search ads. These are the CPC growth, and so year-over-year growth. So it was only in 2020 we had a negative growth CPC.
Max,
the rest of the year.
Max, sorry to cut you. I think you have small issues with your microphone, and we receive some feedback about noisy sound.
I'm with, let's see. Do you hear me better?
Yeah, go ahead, and we'll cut you if it's bad. Thanks, Max.
Yeah, and I just moved the microphone to my phone now. Let's see if that works out better. I hope you didn't miss that much, but basically I was mentioning that CPCs are increasing pretty drastically year over year. So we had like a peak in around 2021 with 37% growth, but also the last years we had always big increases in terms of CPCs. One of the, I would say, big topics is basically the conversion fallacy. It's basically a concept that not that much marketeers are familiar with, I would say, and it brings a bit, I would say, a challenge into our data-driven mindset. And so, to begin with, I present to you just a hypothetical conversion, now in the form of Mr. Bean for the ones that know it. And basically, when that conversion pops in your CRM system or on your website, we basically say if you're running Facebook ads and Facebook says that was my conversion, but then a bit later Google comes and they say, hey, no, that was mine, that was my conversion. And a bit later, if you're running LinkedIn ads, for example, as well, they say, look, that was me. So basically, the conversion fallacy mentions that for one conversion, especially because every platform tracks their conversion tracking or has their conversion tracking and measures conversions, it can be that one conversion, one user that converts is measured three different platforms at the same time. And that's basically a bit the conversion fallacy that I'm presenting here today, and what makes it very difficult for us to make data-driven choices, because we think that Facebook is generating a lot of leads, we think that Google is generating a lot of leads, and we think that LinkedIn is generating a lot of leads, but basically they're measuring the same thing. And that happens because Facebook, but also Google and LinkedIn, they have a view-through conversion as well. So basically, once you see an ad popping up, and after a window of one day, you convert, maybe because you went through a Google search, or maybe you went through a LinkedIn post or LinkedIn ad, that view-through conversion will still measure that conversion and attribute it to a Facebook campaign or a Google campaign or a LinkedIn campaign. And so your conversions, which are super important for your business and for your agency, are basically artificially pumped up in every advertising platform. Because a lot of companies, but also agencies, they use the Google Suite, so at GA4, they use Google Ads and so on. They tend, Google in that whole ecosystem, they tend to give more credits to themselves. Why? How? Because they basically control your attribution model. What is an attribution model? Basically, a model that gives credits to each step in a user journey, and to give credits to certain step or platform and so on. And what we see is basically that Google tends to be very optimistic about their own conversion, or their own conversion generation, I would say, because normally they're always at the last, in a lot of cases, the last step of the user journey. And so a Google search, you really show intent already. You do a very intent-based query. Plus, you have also a lot of brand campaigns, for example, that generate a lot of conversions as well. So be careful on that way, or with that, because we see that's happening a lot. So basically, with the challenges that already were presented by Olivier, but also by me, with now the facts of conversion fallacy and so on, we really see, I really believe that we are right now, the marketing mix as a concept is really at a crossroads. So we are doing a bit the same things that we were doing before, with the same, let's say, strategy, the same structure, and so on. It becomes more complex. And so, I would say, an answer to that, we launched as well in 2023 our visibility module, a bit like mini Google, but then only for agencies in very specific expertise and so on. And just last year, I was a bit on a secret mission, not so secret, I have to say, but I was on a mission to basically help agencies understand first our visibility module, our visibility product. We, on the other hand, help them as well understand tracking their analytics, and help them basically move through, I would say, the jungle of tracking and analytics, and the conversion fallacy, and everything that happens in between there. Why? Because we see that a lot of agencies, they first of all, they use Google Analytics. That's first of all, but also they don't have the time or maybe the resources or the know-how to really understand what is happening in their analytics and their tracking in general. So, and today, basically, I want to reveal a bit, well, all the important secrets that I have gathered along that secret mission in a few lessons, basically. Just a few missions. My mission in numbers. It's not so big as the report that Olivier presented, but it was a bit more of manual work, I would say. So I basically audited over 65 agency accounts, GA4 accounts in the last months. I spoke with more than 83 agencies and went through a profile optimization, their visibility optimization, and so on. So for me, I mean, pretty intense project where I gathered a lot of learnings. And basically, let's go here, but basically, I benchmarked almost everything. Conversion rates, average budgets, number of directory that they're using, average time on their page, and so on. So with a bit more, with all these audits that I did, I generated quite some learnings in there. And just maybe to go back to the slide before, because I didn't pass it just by accident. But this is basically an example of an agency that through visibility was able to generate quite a huge project. And this is just one example of the many that we see right now, but we see really that the visibility module and the visibility approach works for many agencies, especially when they have everything set up in the right way. And this is, I think, a very good example. This is an example of an agency that uses HubSpot and where they basically track they track it pretty decently, I would say. So you basically see that they signed the DeLonghi group through the visibility part. So you see that all the way below, where you see that it's the origin or the source is the Sortlist featured. So basically a paid campaign on our directories. So maybe I see that some people were using already the emojis, but maybe can we get, I'm not sure how much people there are now in the call itself, but we have 60 people. So let's maybe give some thumbs up or some reactions with emojis to see who is ready to be a top performer here in the participants or in the participant list. I see some crying faces, so maybe some people are scared to be a top performer. Can be. No, cool. I see a lot of thumbs up, hearts, and so on. Cool. So I see that almost everybody is ready to be a top performer. Some are still doubting, I see, but that will be soon after this presentation. That will be over. So basically, my first lesson. So what I noticed is that almost all the agencies, they have GA4, but they don't really use the most out of it. So it's basically more like I would say something that you need to have, and they install it on their website, and basically that's it. So no optimization whatsoever. And especially right now with the switch that happened, I would say 1.5 years ago, more or less, I think, or 1 year ago, completely, where we moved from Universal Analytics to Analytics 4. We see there were a lot of within the transition, a lot of agencies or also companies. They didn't migrate. They didn't migrate in the right way, and they basically just have their account, but it's not optimized whatsoever. And so, basically, a lot of agencies, they didn't configure it properly, like I mentioned. It's something that is very curious for me, to be honest, because it's really, for many agencies, their only, let's say, source of truth. How to analyze the data, and basically you can, if you set it up properly, you configure it the right way, and you have some custom reports that you build, that you're building, you can see a lot of data already. I mean, there are some better use cases as well with other tools, but for I would say an average agency, that would be already a very big step forward, I would say, to really understand their data and to make use of their own data. Lesson 2, and that's something that I see as well a lot happening. A lot of, I mean, I gave here the example of Mercadona, but agencies in general, they are very scared of the consent mode or the cookie banner, to say it in the right term. On average, the cookie acceptance rate of agencies was 57%. So super low. Why? Because they probably they went to Mercadona and they saw Mercadona, a big company. It's basically for international people. It's, I would say, the biggest chain in Spain, supermarket chain in Spain. They set up their cookie banner like this, so a bit on the bottom, not really visible, and so on. But it's completely wrong, I would say. And so in this case, just to give you some insights, a user can still do actions without accepting or denying the cookies. So basically, the quality of the data will be very, very poorly. And so it's basically the place of the banner should be very prominent. You should not make any other action than first accept or deny the cookies. And as well, make sure that you nudge them a little bit to accept it, of course. So it's a bit of a gray zone, I would say, within the GDPR, but there are possibilities. So in that sense, I would say on average, I saw 57%. If I look at the top performers, they are at 90% and above. So don't be scared to really ask for that cookie consent. Make sure that that users can accept it, and most of them they do, and that's basically a bit the doubt that a lot of companies have. They will not accept the cookie, so my data will be poorly. But I would say I recommend you really, if you do it properly and you set it up like the way I said it, your acceptance rate should be around 90% or above, and otherwise you ping me, or you mail me, and maybe I can give you some extra tips there. Also there, we have the advanced cookie consent mode and the basic cookie consent mode, and that's even a concept that isn't really used or is not really that known overall. The basic cookie consent mode basically tells or gives the data to your analytics, or what or enables a tracking basically when you accept the cookies, and when you deny, nothing or almost nothing is tracked. But you have also an advanced cookie consent mode where you basically activate already the tags from Google Analytics, from Google Tag Manager, and so on, in advance before people or users are accepting or denying the cookies. When users deny the cookies, then the cookie consent banner or platform or whatsoever, they will send, instead of cookies, they will send pings to your platform. A bit same but different. It's basically more anonymous data. So you still have the data, or quite some data, in your analytics accounts, but they are more anonymized, and your data quality will be better. So still, maybe after today or after this presentation, you can look it up. Advanced cookie consent mode. It's not so difficult to set it up. I also put a link from one of the biggest CMPs in the market to how to set it up. Basically, it's a few steps that you have to do before you're able to activate it. But it's really worthwhile, especially if you have quite some traffic, and if, for example, your acceptance rate is pretty low as well. Lesson 3, and that's something it's a bit of a, I would say, mixed in some analytics account. I see it happening a lot, in some not that much, but a lot of top performers or non-performers, I would say, they are not looking at their direct traffic. And for me, direct traffic, I call it always, and maybe some agencies, I saw some agencies already that I had a call with, so they will know what I'm going to say now. But I call it the trash can of Google Analytics. So basically, everything that Google Analytics is not able to track or to identify or to attribute to a certain source, they will put it into the direct bucket. And so basically, direct traffic, it's common because it's also traffic that just comes directly to your website. But if you see spikes, in this case, I mean, this is a good example, I think. You have a spike in July and a spike in September. Normally, it gives the indication that something is happening within your tracking. So maybe you launched a campaign without maybe properly set up the tracking, for example. It can have a lot of there are a lot of possibilities what can happen, but normally that would be the first thing I would look for. And it gives you a good indication how well you're tracking basically your traffic, and if there's something wrong within your overall tracking, and that gives you an indication if you have to maybe review all your campaigns, look if you add properly the UTM parameters, if you build integrations with the platforms and so on. So maybe after this session, you can also look at your direct traffic, see if there are spikes, maybe differences within month over month, and that gives you a good idea of what maybe how healthy your traffic and how healthy or how good you're tracking basically your traffic at this moment. I also try to look at, and that's something that we see quite a lot of times happening, relations between traffic sources and direct traffic. And so, for example, in this case, I made the comparison between direct traffic and Sortlist traffic, and you see that there are some overlaps. And so when, for example, there's a huge amount or a spikes in certain campaigns, it can be related to also spikes in direct traffic because of for example, the use of ad blockers, for example, that can also have an influence on your direct traffic and so on. So that's also interesting to look at your data sources, compare them with your direct traffic, and see if there may be some times that you initiated a campaign and had a lot of traffic from there, and that your direct traffic is also following the same trend line. Of course, it's just a bit of trial and error, I would say, to see, okay, what can happen with my traffic, with my direct traffic. Are there explanations, for example? And so, for example, in this case, in the last weeks or the last days, you see a spike of direct traffic, but not really from Sortlist. So it can be another explanation, can be another campaign, can be maybe a Facebook campaign, can be a TikTok campaign, can be different stuff. But always look at or compare your traffic sources with direct traffic as well. Also, the relation between sources, again, organic slash Sortlist, for example. Do you see spikes in branded traffic, for example, or spikes in branded search traffic, for example? That can be also one of the relations that you're looking at as well. Also, a good pro tip. I heard or I saw that a lot of agencies here that are here in this call or that are participating in this webinar, they have already visibility campaigns. There's a very nice feature that not that many agencies know, and it's basically the identification of companies that were looking for you. So they were in your directories where you were visible, or when maybe they went to see your profile. And you can see that in your visibility reporting all the way down. You can find this tab as well. And you can basically see exactly which kind of companies they saw your profile in the directory, or they visited even your profile. That's also a label that will be added then there, plus in which area and exactly when. So also then for your ABM campaigns, maybe for remarketing campaigns, maybe for outreach, sales outreach, you can always use as well our tab. Here it's, I would say, very interesting as well to see kind of which companies visited you and you were visible to in directories. Also there, one thing, as for lesson 4, one thing I see a lot happening is ChatGPT traffic surging, basically. And so it's not that much. So for this is an example. It's on the 7th position at this moment, but I see it in almost every analytics account popping up. Yeah, ChatGPT bringing some traffic to agencies, and yeah, basically our CMO that was normally going to present today, but I would like to mention him. He basically said the same thing. He made an analysis of our own ChatGPT traffic and basically saw the same thing happening as well. It's at Sortlist, it's our biggest growth channel at this moment, or the channel with the biggest growth, traffic growth at this moment. And that's basically also ChatGPT. So it's happening as well with us, but I see it as well happening within agencies. And then it's interesting because it's interesting to see, okay, or how does that happen, and or why? And you see that within ChatGPT, within LLMs, you see that they are using a lot of sources, basically directories as sources. In this example, I looked for the best agencies in Madrid, and basically you see at the sources as well, our directories popping up as well. So again, there, even being active on certain directories gives you an unfair advantage against other agencies that are not active, because you will appear more in LLM searches as well, because we see that our directories are used as a lot as a source within the LLMs. This is just an example. And again, lesson 5, top performers, they know as well how our algo works and they adapt to it. So a lot of confusion as well around that. We see that a lot of agencies don't really know how to tweak a bit the system, how they can make the system work for them. And so, for example, reviews and works are super important. So try to optimize to gain more reviews, to work to generate more use cases, to generate more works, and that will also help your organic positionings and even your paid positionings as well. And so I get a lot of questions why they are not number 1 in directories, because they see a competitor above them, and everybody thinks they are the best one. So that's good, of course. So you have ambition, but it's not because you're the best that will be the number 1 in that directory. It will, I mean, like I mentioned, we have different, and we're very transparent about it. We have different. We have different information that we use in the algorithm to rank agencies. And for example, reviews and works is one of them, and it's very, very important to us. It's a big qualitative metric that we use in the ranking. Our top performers, they know it, and they try to make that work as well. So this is a bit of a benchmark that I made. So I will pass that because I'm aware of the time, so I will go a bit quicker. But also top performers, they look at they adapt quickly. They make use of, I mean, our platform. It evolves very quickly. We have a product team that ships very fast. So you have to be, I would say, you have to be you have to adapt quickly to make sure that you make quickly the most use of our new feature that we are shipping almost on a weekly basis. And I call it, and Gary Vee calls it as well, it's basically a bit of underpriced attention. And we always look for that underpriced attention because you get the best bucks for your money. One thing that we launched already a bit or quite a long time is basically the dynamic logos. So you can add GIFs to your logo to really pop out in the directories. Still, a lot of agencies they didn't experiment with it. That's first of all, or they didn't really adapt to it. So they didn't really make use of it. So there again, try to adapt with the product announcements, so with the product adaptations that we are shipping as well. One thing that Oli also mentioned a little bit is right now the multi campaigns, and so make sure. I mean, it's something that we recently launched, where you basically can build several campaigns within your visibility platform, and you can also use different URLs for every campaign. So also again, be more relevant to the users that are coming from our platform. So again, it's multi-campaign is used pretty broadly already. So if you haven't done it, I would really recommend you to do so. But the specific URLs I've seen that adoption is still quite limited yet. So there again, you have an unfair advantage. You can use that underpriced attention as well to make sure to make the most out of that product feature. So again, here some data regarding the use of a dynamic logo and so on. Some good examples that I've seen already. You can add social proof with the companies that you're working for or with. So again, you can experiment a lot with the banners with your logo and so on. And then as well, optimize for your AI visibility. So as like Olivier already told you guys, structured content, long tail keywords. Make sure that you improve your organic rankings, and so more reviews, trying to create a lot of works that will also help your AI visibility as well, and make sure to adapt with visual elements as well. And then basically to wrap up, a bit of lessons learned very quickly. And so what have I shown you? What are the secrets basically? What do I see that top performers do? Let's wrap it up. And so use GA4, but set it up correctly. Don't forget your password because it happens quite a lot as well with agencies. Don't trust Google too much. I would say make sure that you know the conversion fallacy, know how the platform works and adapt to it as well, and be critical with the data that you see. That's super important. Set up your cookie consent the right way, and so use the advanced mode. Make sure that you make it prominent, your cookie consent, and don't be scared to ask for the consent. Look at different data sources and compare them with each other. I talked about direct traffic, but also organic traffic, branded traffic, and so on. So compare these data sources with each other and look at similarities within these platforms. ChatGPT is surging, but also watch which sources they're using as well. The sources are widely available, so you can just ask them or see them basically, and try to be active on the sources that ChatGPT is using that will help you a lot in your AI visibility. Know how our algorithm works and make sure that you adapt to it, and try and basically as well experiment and adapt quickly with everything that we're shipping. Like I mentioned, we ship a lot, so try to be very proactive or reactive, I would say, on that, and make sure that you look for the underpriced attention. And that's about it for my end. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I think we have still a few minutes for Q&A.
Max,
So
yeah, just for the ones that needs to leave right now. So again, thanks for being here with us. Check your inbox because we will send you an exclusive follow-up offer after the webinar for the ones that attended the event. And that would be also a really good way to use our product. So watch your emails. And I think we can take some questions right now, Max.
yeah, we can take some questions. I saw even a question from our own speaker, Olivier.
Yeah, basically there was a question I saw from the chat. There were
Okay.
questions about, the benchmark when it comes to cookies acceptance rate. And
Mm-hmm.
Max, for your info, we also launched a poll during your keynotes, and we have some results. So those are the conversion rate from some people here in the webinar.
Ah, that's cool. I didn't see it. I will check it afterwards. But I see a lot between 50 and 75%. So still some room for optimization, I see. But I mean, I have to say, to just answer the question there, that's basically a bit the idea that a lot of people have, that users will reject the cookies. But once, if you nudge them in the right way, if you ask for it bluntly, I would say don't be scared that people or users will reject it. Normally, the acceptance rates that I see are always very decent and even pretty high as well. Plus, you have the advanced mode as well. If you set up the advanced mode, there you can still see or have the data more or less correctly.
And Max, Simon, so the Simon Crystal was asking that question and was also wondering if you, I don't know, on your side, see differences of acceptance rates between countries or, like.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't went into detail about that, but there are some cultural differences. So Germany, we see that the acceptance rate is lower. They're also a bit more privacy driven. It's more in their culture. While, for example, in Spain, we see acceptance rates being way higher. So yeah, there are some cultural differences. Within countries with, like, I would say the extremes, Germany and Spain, on the lower part and the higher part, I would say.
Thank you, Max, and thank you, Simon, for the question.
Yeah, I see some other questions here as well. So from Agustin, what would be the three best advices in order to optimize our profiles on Sortlist um, for yeah, to be, I guess it's for to appear or to be AI, to work on the AI visibility part. Yeah, I would say reviews works. So I think that's important. Try to optimize, try to add as much as data as possible in a structured way. That's, I would say, I mean, these are already two advices, I would say, there to in order to optimize your profile. I would say if you're optimizing your profile, and so you're following the best practices, so adding reviews, adding works, and so well, your organic positioning within the directories and within the Sortlist platform um, will also increase, and that will also help to just appear better on the GPTs as well, or the AI chatbots as well. So helping, looking at different sources, try to optimize your profile and reviews works, structured data, adding enough enough data, and so headlines that can help and so on. Try to apply as much as possible of the best practices that we propose, and normally your positions will increase as well within the LLMs.
Thanks.
Another question from Valentin. I know Valentin because I spoke with him. I know indeed the import of the reviews is sometimes a bit of a hassle, I have to say. we there's an email. We're in an email thread as well regarding that. So we're working on that. But it's indeed normally that they have an import for reviews, but sometimes there are some problems there as well from within Trustpilot, for example. So we are aware of it, and it's more due to, I would say, the Trustpilot platform than us. But we're trying to uh, to optimize there. There is not really one best way. It's just we have the upload, but sometimes there are some problems there.
I see we are already on time. We have
Correct.
1 hour of workshop. I mean, of webinar. Sorry, and I guess yeah, we can wrap this up. So I would like to thank everyone for being present today. If you have questions or yeah, interest to chat further, don't hesitate to contact me or Max on LinkedIn. Probably we can write our names directly. So yeah, you can add me on LinkedIn, Max. I don't know if you can do it as well. Pilgrims,
Yeah, sure.
EELGR.
I did it already, but
Perfect.
yeah, yeah. I will be quicker.
So perfect. And wish you yeah, a really good day. And we'll talk to you soon and see you soon.
Thank you, guys, and thanks for all the questions as well. Bye bye, guys. Thank you very much.